So I've had to reshoot this video about 7 times because I'm trying to figure out a way to word what I'm trying to word. But the truth is that so many people think that successful people are so different than you. Everybody thinks that successful people have this one trait or this one thing, this one advantage, whether it was, they were born into a wealthy family or they had a lucky break, or they were born with this talent and they became a superstar or a football player or a basketball player. They have this advantage that you don't. And the truth is that's a load of bullshit. Okay? You have all of the potential to be successful. And the truth is a lot of millionaires, a lot of successful people do share a lot of very similar traits. But the one thing that I would say all successful people share is the mindset. Okay, now obviously there's different things that go into your mindset, but one thing I can guarantee every successful person has is the mindset of belief and positive belief. Okay, they all believed in one way or another that they were going to be successful. Okay, and it's to a point where it seems sort of delusional, sort of like crazy. Like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Right? I remember when I was 16 in high school, and I grew up in a small town here in South Carolina, Greenville, and I would tell everyone, my teachers, my counselors, my friends, acquaintances, that I was going to be the super successful actor, businessman, social media star. I was going to move to LA. I was going to get my dream car, the Lambo, the Ferrari, all these things, right? And they would just look at me like I'm fucking crazy. Like, what is this guy talking about, right? And I never once struggled with this belief. I never once struggled with my mindset, but I think this is something that a lot of people struggle with, so it's why I want to talk about it. But I never once was like, maybe these people are right. Maybe I'm not going to be successful. Maybe these people are right. Maybe I'm too pretentious. Maybe I'm too cocky. Maybe I'm too arrogant. Maybe I shouldn't be saying these things. I never once thought that. I was like, okay, these people just have different opinions. That's okay, but I'm still going to do what I set out to do. And I did everything I said I was going to do. I moved to LA. I started movies. I got the car, and I started the business, right? That's what I do now. I'm a fitness coach. I do social media on the side. But what I'm trying to say, guys, is I never once let other people's opinions take me off the path that I was on. And the reason that I think people are so, they never reach their goals or they're never successful is because they're too scared, right? The fear of failure. That is the number one thing that holds people back. And it's the fear of maybe looking stupid. It's the fear of maybe your business going under. It's the fear of maybe losing all your money. It's the fear of maybe looking, dumb. Maybe the fear of trying too hard. Maybe it's the fear of not being successful for a really long time, and maybe it takes you 10, 15, 20 years to be successful. Or maybe it's the fear of people telling you, oh, I told you so. And so most people never even try. Most people never even get started with their goals. I can't tell you the amount of people that reach out to me or that I've touched spaces with in the past that tell me yeah, man, I'm still waiting to start that business, or yeah, I'm still waiting to get this license or this certification. I'm like, dude, just fucking start. What are you waiting for? So many people put off their goals. They hold off on their dream life with this made up story that they tell themselves, this made up excuse that isn't even reality. You're putting your dream life on hold for something that doesn't even fucking exist. You're telling yourself this excuse, and it's ridiculous. It's bullshit. I'm telling you right now, it is something that's holding you back, bro. And so the way I got successful, the reason I got successful is because, first off, my belief. I always believed that it was possible for me. That's the most important thing. I always touch about this in all my videos, but if you don't believe that's possible, you're not even going to try. You're not even going to stay consistent with it long enough to see the fucking result. And so that's the most important thing, is the belief. And then obviously not having the fear that you're going to fail. But guys, here's the thing. I have failed so many fucking times. So many times, okay? I got dropped by my agency before I booked my first feature film. And that was heartbreaking. I remember literally being at Planet Fitness crying in my car, in my Toyota Corolla, crying in my fucking car. This was in North Hollywood. I remember it was yesterday. I got an email. My management for my acting management dropped me. They were like, hey, Sebastian, we love you. We've been with you for a while, but we've done hundreds of auditions, and we've got no's every time. We don't feel like we can do much for you. We don't feel like we can really develop you. And it was heartbreaking. It was like, it felt like my dream was being crushed. It felt like everything I had worked for, because I'd been, auditioning for like 4 or 5 years at that point. And it was like, damn, even my agency's giving up on me, right? After hearing all the rejections from directors and big movies and being very close to getting these like big roles and Netflix shows and stuff. And it felt like my soul was crushed. And I asked myself constantly, is this even for me? And then a few months later, I booked my first feature film, right? It's being released soon. It's got a major publishing deal. Why though? It's because I kept going. It's because I was like, okay, maybe there's just a minor setback, but I know big things are still coming. I know that, I'm not going to let anyone else dictate my success. I'm going to keep auditioning, and I kept auditioning on Backstage by myself. I did an audition, and I got the film, right? And I was one of the pivotal lead roles, right? And I think like being an actor really taught me a lot on how to deal with rejection. But it just goes to show, guys, like, you can't give up. And I know it sounds so fucking cliche, but it's so true, okay? Because even if you do fail, who cares? Dude, I would rather fail 1,000,000 times than give up on my goal, than give up on my dream. And if you don't feel that way, then maybe it's not for you. Maybe the dream, the goal that you have in your head that you claim you want so bad, maybe it's not for you. But you got to stop caring about what other people think. You got to stop letting this false reality, these false excuses that you put in your head hold you back from getting started and going after your goals, guys. Another way I failed, like, I started a supplement brand, right? It went nowhere. I started a clothing brand. It went fucking nowhere. I got a sale on my clothing brand, or maybe a few sales from like family and friends. Same thing with the supplements, family and friends and clients. Went nowhere, right? And I remember being so excited. I started a beef tallow company. Went nowhere. I remember being so excited on my social media. Guys, I'm dropping supplements. Guys, I'm dropping hoodies. Guys, I'm dropping a beef tallow brand. They all failed, right? I've started e-commerce businesses in the past that failed. Guys, I have so many fucking failures. But it never derailed me from my journey. Never derailed me from the destination. It's like when you're on a trail and you just, you have to stop, or maybe you have to go a different direction. That's all it is. That's all. It isn't even a failure. I wouldn't even call these things failures. They're just setbacks. I think the only time you really do fail is if you completely give up on your goals and your dream. That's the only time I would call it a failure. But it's not even that bad if you do fail, guys. If you do have these setbacks. Like when my dream was crushed of being an actor when I got dropped from my agency. Because guess what? I kept going. I booked that feature film. Like when my dream got crushed with the supplement brand, the clothing brand, the beef tallow company. But I kept going. And then I started my fitness coaching business, and that went well, right? And then I started doing TikTok shop. That went extremely well. That's how I was able to get my car. That's how I retired my mom recently. And so you're going to have these things that come up, but they're not failures. They're just setbacks. And, one of the most amazing things about them, guys, is that they always teach you something. They teach you a lesson. They teach you about yourself, right? It really makes you dig deep and ask yourself a lot of questions. Like, again, when I got dropped from my agency, I asked myself, like I said, is this really for me? Is acting for me? Is this what I want to do? Am I going to let this determine if I'm going to end up in movies or not? Am I going to let this determine if I don't make it? Yada, yada, right? You ask yourself these questions. When the businesses didn't do good, I asked myself, like, maybe I'm not meant to have or maybe I shouldn't keep doing business. Maybe I'm just not good at sales. Maybe I'm not good at e-commerce anymore. Maybe I'm just, you ask yourself these questions, but you learn about yourself on a deeper level. And it's so important that you take those setbacks, you take those failures, you take from them, you actually learn from them. That way you don't make the same mistakes again, but you keep going, right? It's all about readjusting. It's all about pivoting. That's what all the big successful people talk about. You pivot. When things go left, you fix it. You fix your path. It's no big deal. So truly, stop overthinking. Stop thinking that, if you do fail, if people do make fun of you, if, you do lose all your money, that's going to be the end of the world. It's not, dude. You know how many billionaires have gone broke? I think it's the saying is like the average millionaire goes broke, like, or it's millionaire or billionaire, one of them. Either way, if it's billionaire, it's more impressive. But the average millionaire or billionaire goes broke like 6 or 7 times. And I can speak that fucking with truth. Okay, I'm not at the millionaire status yet, but getting pretty damn close to it. And I've gone broke multiple times, had businesses crushed multiple times, had a lot of failures, as people would call them. But like I said, guys, it's not a failure unless you let that define who you are and you let that take you off your dream destination, your journey. But really, guys, look, I'm 23. I got my dream car, fully spec'd out Z51 C8 Corvette, Rapid Blue. It's a fucking beautiful car. I'm sure you guys have seen it. If not, I'll throw in a picture right here. But I retired my mom. I don't have to worry about money anymore. I get to do what I love. It's fucking 9:30 on a Sunday. Yeah, I mean, it's a Sunday, so most people are off. But I mean, obviously I'm headed to the gym. I'm still working today. I got check-ins today. But the point is, I get to do what I love, which is run my business. I'm my own boss. And imagine if I just listened to my teachers, my counselors, my principals, when they told me, like, hey, this dream of you, being an entrepreneur, this dream of you moving to LA, it's unrealistic. Dude, that's what they told me constantly. They told me to seek something safe. They told me to go to college, get a high-paying job if you want to make a lot of money. They're like, Sebastian, we know you want to be successful. We know you want to make a lot of money. So at least go to college and get a high-paying job. Like, be a lawyer, be a doctor, be an engineer. You're smart. You can do that. But it wasn't for me. I knew it wasn't for me. I had bigger aspirations for myself. And I'm not saying those jobs aren't big aspirations for some people. For some people, that's their dream job. And that's amazing. I think you should go for what you want. Not what other people try to define you as. Not what other people try to tell you should do with your life. And really, if you want to get to that next level, guys, you have got to stop listening to the people that are down here. Okay, you have to listen to the people that are up here, that are up here, that are up here. Okay? Because how can you expect someone who's down here to give you advice on how to get up here if they've never done it themselves? The most important thing, the thing I want to leave you with is surround yourself with people who are going to take you to that next level. If you have this fear of failure, this fear that you're not going to be successful, how do you get rid of that? What's the number one way to get rid of fear? So surround yourself with people who don't have that fear. I heard, this guy on social media, Jados, who's talking about how if you saw someone swimming at night, or no, if you didn't see anyone swimming at night, would you jump in the pool or in the lake? No, fuck no, right? You don't know what's in the lake. You don't know what's going on. It's dark. What if you drown? But if you see 50 people and then 100 people and then 200 people, they're all in the lake swimming, having a good time, singing, just dancing in the lake, you're going to get in it, right? Because, there's nothing to be worried about. And so it's the same thing with success. Surround yourself with people who don't have that fear. And if you can't find those people, guys, we live in the digital gold rush. In the digital age, you are literally watching me through a phone. Use this. Find the people who are where you want to be, whatever that is, whether it's entrepreneurs who have that business that you want. Maybe you want to start a clothing brand. Maybe you want to start a makeup business. Maybe you want to be a basketball player. Maybe you want to start a podcast. Find the top people in that space and consume. Take in their content, because everything that you consume, that's what defines your reality. That's what defines your limitations, who you are. Like, I cannot stress the importance of, guys, everything you consume has an effect on your mental well-being, on your mental state, on what your beliefs are and what your limitations are. So if you're constantly listening to people online, in real life, acquaintances, friends, family, that tells you, oh, that's too risky, you shouldn't start that business. I heard this person started a business and it failed and then they were in massive debt. Or, this person invested in stocks and the business went under and they lost all their money. Oh, don't buy this, don't buy that, it's a dumb purchase. Then that's the mindset you're going to have. If that's all you're constantly listening to, that you're going to have that scarcity mindset. Versus if you listen to people who have done what you want to do, who have the $100 million exit in the business, who are SAG actors, or maybe they've been in feature blockbuster films. Maybe they're a pro basketball player, or, you know, they're a famous artist. The people who have what you want, again, guys, it doesn't have to be a career like that. It can be like, maybe they're a doctor, maybe they're an engineer, maybe they're a lawyer. What I'm saying is, though, listen to people who have what you want. Listen to people who have the dreams that you want. Because, again, that defines what your beliefs are going to end up being. And so if you listen to people who don't have a fear of failure, and who only speak success, and who only talk about abundance, then guess what? That's what you're going to believe. And that's why I feel like I'm so positive and so, like, I don't think anything is ever going to fail for me. And sure, maybe that's a bad thing, because when failures do hit, then I'm like, fuck, okay, we have to readjust. We have to pivot. This sucks. And sure, I get down sometimes. But most of the time, I don't ever fail, because that's just not in my mindset. It's just, what's next, belief, abundance. Great things are coming. Like, this is just the beginning. This car right here. Lambo's next. SVJ's after that. GT3 RS. Fucking McLaren. Ferrari. LaFerrari. Bugatti. All of that's next. 100%. I believe it. Some of you may think I'm crazy. That's all right. People thought I was crazy before I got this car and I said I was going to get this car. They're like, you're not going to do that. I fucking did it. So, again, surround yourself with people that are going to help you level up, that are going to help take you to that next level. There's no reason you should be listening to people who don't have what you want. Again, guys, how is a person that's down here going to tell you how to get up here and then up here and then up here? They're not. They won't be able to. It's like listening to, how do I even word it? It's like, you know, when you're in kindergarten, right, and a teacher's teaching you addition, subtraction, like, you don't immediately go into algebra, right? You learn the basics, right? But let's say if the kindergarten teacher never learned algebra, how's she going to teach you that when she doesn't know it? How's she going to teach you advanced calculus and all these, like, college and university level subjects when she hasn't done it? She can't, right? So how do you expect maybe your parents who make less than $100,000 a year to teach you how to be a millionaire? How do you expect teachers who don't even make seven figures to teach you how to become a millionaire? You know, it's when I was learning business in high school and I took a business class in college. The professor had never even started a successful business. How was I going to listen to him? You know what we were learning about? Like, taxes and tariffs and the economy. He wasn't actually giving you advice on how to start a fucking business. So elevate your mindset, elevate your beliefs, cut out any limitations. How do you do that? By listening to people who are where you want to be, who have the things that you want. It's my best advice, guys. And truly, please believe that anything is possible. Failures don't define you. They're not gonna, you know, ruin you. A setback isn't gonna kill you. Okay? It's really not. Live in abundance, because I promise anything is possible. But truly, guys, you do have to let go of those old limiting beliefs. And if that means, you know, stepping on some people's toes, if that means, you know, maybe making some people resent you that are in your hometown, or, you know, family members, acquaintances, that's fine, okay? Because if you want something for yourself, you want this life that's different, then that's what it's going to take. You know, you have to outgrow the old you. You have to kill the old you to expect to be at a new level. You can't expect to be doing the same things, having the same beliefs as when you were a kid, when you were a teen, when you were a college student, if you want to reach that next level. Like, I'm sure right now, I think I know a lot of things because I've touched six figures a month, or I've been in a movie or whatever, but I'm sure in 10 years, I'm going to be looking back at myself like, damn, I was really stupid, young and naive. And then when I'm 33, because I'm 23 right now, and then I'm 43, I'm going to be like, damn, at 33, I was still pretty stupid, right? I was young, naive. I wouldn't really call it stupid, because you're learning. That's how you get to that next level. But there's no such thing as failure, guys, unless you let it define you and you let that make you quit. Believe everything's possible. I promise you can have everything you want in this life. Okay, I want you to keep going. I want you to believe it's possible. I want you to surround yourself with people who don't have fear of failure, who only speak success, who only speak abundance. And if you can't surround yourself with that in person, then consume that content from people like me, people that you look up to, people that are in your industry that you want to be in. Consume that like no other. You have an advantage. You have this phone. Okay, use it to your advantage. Don't get distracted. Don't only scroll, you know, on TikTok and watch this dumb content, humorous entertainment content. Watch content that's actually going to help you level up. That's exactly how I got to where I am, by watching people who actually inspired me, who actually gave me advice, and not just entertainment, who actually felt, compelled by, who actually moved me to become this person that I am right now. And so the people that you should be watching are those people that actually challenge you and ask you to challenge yourself, ask you to grow. That's really it, guys. Believe in yourself. Let go of that fear of failure. Let go of that fear of not being successful. Have full belief that things will work out in your favor. Keep going, never give up, and surround yourself with those people that are going to take you to that next level. Okay? The only person you have in this life is yourself. The only person you're going to take to the grave is you. So don't be afraid of chasing after everything you want. It's not selfish. Okay? It's not selfish. In fact, it is selfless to achieve all of your goals. Okay? I see a lot of people say it's selfish to want to be a millionaire, billionaire, or people say oh, you have a six-pack, you're so vain, right? Or you have a nice house and a nice car, why don't you give that to charity? Right, guys? Two things can be true at once. You can have all the nice things, still give to charity. Because you know what's a hell of a lot more inspiring? Being the person, being the dad, the father that has a six-pack, that has the 8-figure income, that has a nice house, that has nice cars. Guys, there were just kids walking here looking at my car with their jaw dropped. Every time I'm driving this car, kids' jaw drop. People ask me, what do I do for a living? I inspire them. Okay? So it's not selfish to have nice things, to want more for yourself. Because what does that do? That inspires the next generation. Right? It inspires your kids. Inspires the people around you. And it shows them what's possible. When you're in shape, what does that tell people? That you're healthy, that you take care of yourself, that you don't put temporary pleasure over, your body. What I'm trying to say is when you eat a donut, right? That's temporary pleasure versus when you eat the chicken, broccoli, rice, or the beef, the healthy things. You may not want to do that in the moment, but you do it because you know what it's going to give you, the outcome, which is a nice body. That's selfless. Okay? So it's not selfish to want these things for yourself, guys. Okay? Don't believe that for a second. It's only going to inspire the next generation. Be the person that you needed when you were younger, okay? I remember looking up to these people with this car, people with the Lambo, the Ferrari, and I was like, fuck, dude, that's going to be me one day. Don't you want to be that guy or that girl if you're watching this? Where kids look at you and they're like, if he could do it, if she could do it, I know I can. That is going to be you. Let that be you. There's nothing wrong with it. I wish you the best. I hope you have the best day of your entire life. Get after it. Chase after your goals. Anything's possible.